What things did you do as a kid that you now realize is extremely weird? When I was in 4th grade, so around 9 or 10, at a private school, we used pinto beans as counters during math. Well, one day, someone realized if you put a bean in water, it would sprout, and it became incredibly fashionable to keep a couple of living bean sprouts hidden in your desk at all times. This turned into a whole industry. Sneaking to the cabinet in the back and stealing the beans was risky, so people took on those roles. The beans were old, so getting them to actually sprout was valuable. Others would sneak the sprouts in and out of class to get sun. A boy's grandparents had bought him a science experiment kit that came with hundreds of these little plastic vials that stood up on their own. They were the perfect size for keeping a sprouted pinto bean, so he started trading them. Another 2 kids had water bottles with a straw that fit neatly into the vials and made it easy to water the sprouts. They turned it into a service. One pretty talented group of girls started making houses out of paper and cardboard for the sprouts to live in. This allowed bean families to become a thing. Another girl realized that the houses meant there was a market for bean sprout furniture. Kids started pulling textbooks out of their desks and stashing them around the classroom to make space for larger and larger houses. The houses were a turning point because they ran anywhere from $5 to $10, which was the first time anyone had charged real money for something instead of bartering. In addition, demand for sprouts went through the roof since you could fit 4 or 5 in a house. The kid who had been successfully sprouting the beans is under immense pressure to produce, and we've crossed a threshold, so people are willing to pay real money now. Into this high-pressure situation walks my classmate Julia. Julia brings a tiny bottle of purple liquid one day and tells the bean sprouter kid that it's the diluted slime of an extremely rare snail from the forests up north that she collected herself while camping with her family. It's such a strong fertilizer, even diluted, that 1 drop in each vial will guarantee that a bean will sprout. In addition, a drop to each already sprouted bean will ensure a nice, green plant. There's enough for around 50 sprouts in there, but it's going to cost him $20 for the whole bottle. Well, if you're selling the sprouts at $1 each, $20 is a steal. So the kid comes back the next day with the cash. Julia gives him the fertilizer, and he puts a drop in each vial just before we leave to go home. The next day, all his bean sprouts are dead, and he's pissed. Turns out, the fertilizer was just Julia's mom's perfume, and it killed all the plants. Well, the bean sprouter kid is not the kind of person to take this lying down, so he goes to the teacher to tell her that he got conned, and the whole thing unravels. The teacher is upset that her students have been devoting hours of in-class time to beans. Parents are upset that money they thought was for snacks or field trips was for beans. The principal has to announce to the whole school that growing plants in your desk is now banned, which just confuses everyone else. And my class is angry at poor bean sprouting kid for snitching and ruining everything. All their hard work is now in the trash. The bean sprout industry never recovered.